because you got to say the show with show.
Cuphead Show.
Because
For the muffin to ya.
top of the muffin to you. Rob,
This is if Regis Philbin had actually this is the Cuphead Show.
R.I.P. Regis.
We got Cuphead, we got Mugman.
A quick Vanis update, Rob. I went out to throw the trash.
It's a pretty good Regis.
I went out to throw garbage between the show, and then as I came in, I saw a note on my door.
Oh no!
And this note said, "We like to party. We like to party. We like to party. We like to party. Party." I don't know what that
bus
means.
is coming.
I think the Vanis bus is coming. I think that's what is coming to tell me that I should be afraid. I don't know what's going on. I'm very concerned. So if I don't make it out of this, avenge my death. That's all I want to say right now. Just avenge.
How would you like that to happen? Like
in the perfect 80s gritty way possible. I'd like you to first move to Bulgaria. So then one of the
might not
military
be the
personnel,
best region right now to be going over.
it makes even better. When you're in a cabin
around, plane
when you're
hopping.
in a cabin or a cave, the guy will come to you and be like, "It's time. Stu has been murdered by Vanis. You need to come out of retirement." And you're like,
all right,
fine, one more time. Just
I have a
one
particular
last
set of
time.
skills.
Yes, I will do this one last time, and then you will fight Vanis, probably in a community center, basketball court, because we can't afford anything bigger. But we'll do that.
Can I take the air out of his tires first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would like, and then I'll also have to see if I can probably hire, can't hire that many people, maybe 20 people to stand around you guys yelling Kumite. And
I think you only need I think you only need 5 guys.
No, you need 20. You need 20. It's
maybe a drum.
You need 20.
We are allowed to have 20 outdoors together now. We're okay.
Yeah, you got to surround surround it so it's surround sound, because if only 5 people yelling, there's not enough space that you can yell Kumite loud to get you in the mood to avenge my death. So I will
totally.
I wonder what the singer of that song is doing. I wonder if you could hire him for like a wedding or an event or something.
I'm sure
that's all they would do. That's just yo Kumite. People would just be like, okay, when does it end? He's like, there is no ending.
Really, if you're gonna really do that mix, you should got to do the Mortal Kombat first, and then transition to Kumite, and then really that's the way that gets you jazzed. So for all you aspiring DJs, you have to do the mixing of the two. Anyways, welcome everyone to the Hero Film Quarantine Podcast.
Looking forward to the trap remix of Kumite.
Yeah, you never know when DJ Khalid's gonna drop a remix, so we'll see what happens. I'm your host, Stupid.
Another one.
With me is one of the owners and proprietors of Heroes World, that be Mr. John Ho. Please say hello.
Howdy, folks.
And the Prince of Mischief himself, variant from Other Universe, Mr. Rob Goudet.
I got you, John. Hey, everybody.
Gotta use the Jedi, the Force. And it's like, or for all you kids back home,
I crush your head. I crush it.
Those Kids in the Hall references out there. Maybe you don't know. Anyways, welcome as
we
we discuss Cuphead Show.
Welcome to the Cuphead Show.
So this
have a new show. It's got a Cuphead.
Yeah, this show is of course based off of the video game, the extremely difficult video game known as
Uncharted.
I have not seen past the first level, Stu. How far have you made in this game?
I've never been in the right zone to get past any. It's so damn hard, and don't even bother doing it with Mughead. It's Mugman. 2-player is a lie. It's so much harder playing Cuphead with 2 people. Just play by yourself. It's the bosses get more harder. It's a whole thing, and there's too many moving things. Cuphead's a stressful experience for those who don't know the actual video game. Beautiful game, all hand drawn art, which translates very well to this animation series. They've decided to convert it into that show. Very quick hits, 15 minutes. I honestly, based on the first episode, we'll get to it momentarily with the voice acting. If I close my eyes enough, I would think it's an episode of The Sopranos. It's weird, just Italian guys yelling back and forth to each other. Sounds like a bunch of guys from New York. So, John, as someone who has a little bit of experience with Cuphead, what's your initial thoughts and salvo with this show?
Yeah, so it's like, wow, did we go back in time? Like it's pretty cool. The animation is both super cool and also super creepy. So I don't know what to feel when I kind of see it. I'm like, oh man, some of this stuff is just freaking me the hell out. But it's really cool that they can achieve this, and of course they're using modern technology to do some of these things that they used to do back in the day. But yeah, I think it looks incredible. I really like its style. And the video game, if you haven't played it, yeah, it's got a whole set of style of its own. I wish it had a difficulty slider, but maybe that's part of the charm. So,
Man, John, difficulty slider, baby. This is
I would. I turned that shit to easy or very easy.
I know
for
you
sure.
are. I know that's who you are at this point, John. But we grew up in a time where games were hard. There was no easy mode. You play a game that you just play to the end, and you got one game every like 8 months. So you played the hell out of that game. And you respected that game.
It also came with an instruction booklet, and it had little square like versions of like screenshots, and you'd be looking, going, "What does it mean? What? I don't see a ladder. What are you talking about?" So,
and then in the back, it had a section for notes.
Magazine.
So somehow you had to write notes.
Yeah.
Why would
that's when you wrote your up, down, left, right,
codes.
BA start.
Yeah, your codes to save your status in the game. Rob,
hey man,
what are your general thoughts on this show?
Listen, I'm really glad it exists for people who like this.
Wow, this is the wow. All right.
Okay. Let me just say the positive things. It's 15 minutes.
It's short.
But if the animation style took me back. I grew up watching Looney Tunes cartoons, like the old school, like from the 50s and 60s and shit, like Mel Blanc originals. I grew up watching that stuff like all the time, and the old Disney animation stuff. And so this took me back. I don't know if you guys noticed this show even had the granular and the imperfections in the the little black thing that would wiggle around and stuff like that, look like an eyelash. It took me back, but nostalgia can only take you so far, guys. And so for 15 minutes, that nostalgia drug only lasted for a third of that, and the rest was not my Cuphead of tea. So I'm very happy it exists for people. I think the people who worked on this put a lot of effort and love into it, and I'm happy for them. But for this dude, I'm out.
All right. Before we go into, I guess it's not much spoilers, but before we, I guess, go into more thoughts, because John and myself have watched. You watched the entire thing, right, John?
I've seen parts and bits of the other stuff because my daughters are actually watching it. Okay. It is available if you turn your Netflix to the kids version. It still qualifies as under the kids categorying or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, cool. I've seen all of it, so we can talk a little bit more about that. But we'll this is you recommend it to people to watch, John, or would you recommend, because your kids are watching it, clearly you're okay with it. So give us your thoughts on allowing your children to watch it.
Yeah, it hasn't been anything crazier than you see if they played the video game or anything like that. Like I said, the animation does have a little bit of a creepy factor to it, but my kids love like the musical number in the first episode. Like I had to, like, when I was watching it, they're like, "Oh, rewind that," because they wanted to hear it from the beginning and do like funny dances. But maybe my kids are just weird. But it doesn't look like it's got anything that is worse than, like, I don't know if you guys remember, if you remember any of the old style cartoons. One comes clearly to mind that is a little bit, makes me go, huh. But there's one with Donald Duck, and he's got his 3 nephews, and they get him a box of cigars for his present. But Donald Duck mistakenly thinks they're smoking, so he makes them smoke all, and you're like, holy crap, this is messed up. And so he punishes them. I don't think it's any worse than something like that.
They redid that in the Cosby Show. And they thought she was drinking whiskey because she got hungover.
Yeah, I think it's fine. From what I saw, I didn't watch every part of it, but it was really cool to see characters from the video game pop up. My daughter's like, "Oh, that's the guy that like punches you in the face." I'm like, "Really?" Because she's actually played more of the game than I have.
Has she
I was
gotten
like, "Oh,
farther than you? Because you keep saying how hard the first level is. Has she gotten?
Yeah.
farther?
I think she has because she gets to play with somebody else, and then when she dies, the other person just proceeds to finish the level.
Who is she playing with that can save her? It's incredible.
It's the wizard. It's
I
the
think it was
wizard
Pat
from
in
the.
Sorry? It's
Is it-
Pat?
Yeah, I think it was Pat. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Good for you, Pat. I was like, geez, this game, it looks, yeah, it's.
I have not passed. I was gonna put a clip up, and it literally is like 2 seconds. The first thing I have to jump over, dead.
Wait, I've
Couldn't
never
even
played
dash,
this
right?
game. Where is this game? Is it on?
It's
on
everywhere.
PC.
It's on PlayStation Network. Everything.
You have to buy it.
Yeah, you have to buy it. Fucking guy. They don't give shit away for free now. Oh, forget
Well,
it.
to be fair, he got Fortnite for free. So, you know,
Yeah.
like,
All right.
yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah, Rob only cares about buying skins. He's like, what kind of skins can I buy? Not since Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Rob is like, the skins.
That's
That's
right.
all that matters to me.
No. Silence of the Lambs.
Well, I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre came first.
Yeah, sure. But I think Buffalo Bill did it much better. He was much more creepier. Than
Yeah. Buffalo Bill. Anyways,
derailed.
I'm just keep on thinking. I'm like, oh my god, and then I think about Heat, and I'm like, we're back to the Heat. I'm like, we already talked about Heat, Rob. I'm going back down that like rabbit hole. I'm like, where's that movie? I'm like, oh, Heat, right? We talked about Heat. We did a whole retrospective on Heat, for the anniversary. So I really enjoyed watching the show because it's nonsense. It's quick. It's easy. It has nothing to do with the game itself outside of the fact that, spoiler alert, Cuphead loses his soul to the devil. So the devil is constantly trying to get the soul from him. So outside of that, like some of the characters, the Frog Brothers, like Pork Rind, like all these other characters show up, and I'm like, oh, I know these characters from the game. They're in and out. They just disappear, and I'm like, cool, like that's it. But I kind of miss the aspect of they don't have gun shooters. So the entire movie, I'm expecting them to like Mega Man up and start shooting stuff out of their hands, and I'm like, oh, they don't do it once. Like they don't have the pea shooters.
In the video game, they get, because I fired it up, of course, after watching the show. They get like a power up that gives them the shooty hands. So maybe it'll show up next season or something. But man,
it's
this game is $20.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's high quality. If you can, like, it's like Dark Souls. It's like the Dark Souls of, you know what, Mega Man is actually pretty tough as well. So I can't even call it the Dark Souls of Mega Man. If you go back and play some Mega Mans, or if you play the new Mega Man 11 or whatever the hell it's called, it's pretty legit hard.
Yeah.
Right.
But that, to your point, Mega Man is the trick is that you know the weapons you got to use to fight.
But the levels are still tricky. They're still hard games.
This is a very unforgiving game, and it is, you could die and die and die over and over and over, and it's just like, good luck. We're not going to change anything. But if you can get yourself in the zone, the memorization zone of like constantly up down up down up down. This is the pattern. Pattern recognition. If you have that skill, this game is it's great. I just don't have that skill in me. Like I'll just forget. I'm like,
you want to throw your controller at the wall.
Yeah, or like I'm one of those, just like studying for an exam. I just like spend like 24 hours studying for the exam, and then as soon as it's over, I'm like, I forget everything. I'm like, what did I do in this level? I don't even know anymore. Who was the bad guy? Who was the boss? Was there a boss?
Can I introduce you guys to a game called Flappy Bird? You just got to go up and down. That's it, man.
That game you can die in a second too.
So nonetheless, I would say, you know, if you have kids, it's a fun experience. There's some good nuanced jokes, and as John was saying, to get to the I guess John was really trying to get Rob to talk about the Dice King episode, where King Dice. I
I didn't watch past the first.
Wayne Brady plays the and it's of that 1940s like ilk, like showman.
Yeah.
So of course Wayne Brady just knocks it apart because that's what Wayne Brady does. As we've learned in the Chappelle Show, you don't mess with Wayne Brady.
That's right.
That's it.
Listen,
Well,
this is
I'm
to
gonna
say, like,
choke a bitch.
but their execution is done really well. Like this is not my condemnation of the show. Like, it's just not for me. Once they started singing, John, I'm really glad the kids were like, yeah, do it again. I was like,
It was
oh,
fun. It was a fun musical
I
number.
found nothing fun about it. Maybe it was the mood I was in.
Maybe your soul is dead.
Yeah, maybe.
Did you lose your soul to the devil in a game of skee ball?
You know, 100%. Everybody my age made
100%.
deals with the devil to back in the 90s and the 80s. We all did for different things, and I'm not going to tell you what I gave up. But I will say that, like, okay, I know people are going to say, well, Rob, you don't like fucking animation, you don't like cartoons. There's one cartoon I can't wait to come out, and I'm hoping we review it, and that is dropping on Paramount later this year, and that's Beavis and Butthead. So
I knew it was Beavis and Butthead. I knew it's like, of course, it's the guys that do the dirty jokes that are the lowest of brow. Like, oh, that's what you're interested in. Not the King of the Hill reboot, which I think is going to be incredible. Beavis and Butthead, of course.
No, not even Futurama. No. Give me Beavis and Butthead.
It's not gonna have Bender's voice.
Yeah, well,
they're negotiating.
She was dead in the water.
They're negotiating. Yeah, not everyone has a David Schwimmer in their lives that can unite the cast and negotiate the fact that they're still this day making $20 million a year off of Friends.
Right.
That's what Friends are for.
That's right.
David Schwimmer just doesn't have to
Dionne
work anymore.
Warwick.
Good times and bad
Smiling.
times. Yeah. So it is. I knew you were going to say Beavis and Butthead. I think Cuphead has.
In fact, I want to go watch Beavis and Butthead Do America right now.
Bad movie.
Them boys whacking off in my trailer.
Beginning of Hank Hill, which I honestly, at the end of the day, Bobby Hill's the best part of that. Like, that extended universe. The fact that we got Bobby Hill out of Beavis and Butthead is all I need in life, because he's the best character in all of that universe.
Should all even go watch Team America? Let's go.
Yeah.
All to say, Cuphead's not my cup of tea.
The high shelf humor is not to Rob's standard, as
why pay for the high shelf when I can go and save myself a whole bunch of money for the
I feel like 5 minutes in, you'll know if this show is for you or not.
I was 5 minutes in, and they started singing.
No, that's why. Like, I think you'll know. I think you'll know if it's for you. So if you do dig it, then it's cool. The production quality.
Not since Enchanto as Bruno, and we don't talk about Bruno, and then Rob is like, I'm out. I don't care.
Never even watched it. Don't give a shit.
I don't care about this. As someone who's watched all 12 episodes, I can tell you there is no resolution. It's going to continue churning out episodes.
I think they're 36 episodes they contracted or something like that.
A run of 36.
3 seasons. Yeah,
I think they're just going to keep on rolling, because none of the episodes really have much of a. Only 1-2 episodes have a continuance. Other than that, they seem to be all over the place.
I think that's great.
There's a few connective tissues from episode to episode, some callbacks, but mostly it's all separate. It's them doing their own things. So yeah,
I don't know. You know what? Like, I at the beginning, I even aside from the aesthetic, the voicing and everything else, I got a bit of Pinky and the Brain vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys got that as well. But then I started thinking, like, shit, I'd rather go. I want to watch Animaniacs again. I want to watch Pinky and the Brain, right?
Old Animaniacs, old Pinky.
There's a new Animaniacs. Did you watch it? Probably not.
No,
I did.
Yes, of course you did. I watched some of it.
Yeah.
It was
something.
It was something.
Right.
It was something. I think it's kind of like they went full Ren and Stimpy. The thing that made Ren and Stimpy so perfect was that they danced around bad words and they made up their own stuff, and it was much more interesting and funny. The moment when they could just curse, it just lost all its fun. It's because the curse word was not what we were laughing about. It was the fact that you were looking at coded words that, as you were a young person, you could use to say the bad word. Just saying the bad word is just not interesting. So generally, that was what the issue with the new Ren and Stimpy was, where it's like you missed all the fun nuance where they had to dance around all the censorship stuff, and they would do cool creative things, and where they just use the lowbrow like profanity, it's like, okay, well then, all right, great. How many times can you hear the F word? Fun the first time, the 40th time, I'm out. So that is that. So, but I recommend still, if you're interested in the art is beautiful. I think it's one of those things where if you had people over, you could just put it on mute in the background, and it's just beautiful art to have just going in the background, and to keep the kids occupied. So I think they've done a really good job, because you never got the character of Cuphead and Mugman really fleshed out as much as they do in the series, because they make Cuphead the impulsive, the Chippendale Rescue Rangers style. Like one is the
Chippendale, yo.
Yeah, this is like Cuphead is more like Dale running around doing the dumb things, and then and Chip is Mugman, the more cautious brother. So it's kind of playing off the same thing, where it's like one brother is the run around,
Also a great game,
causes the trouble, and then the other one, or Merry and Pippin from Lord of the Rings. You name your two brothers, or do you think one's the impulsive, one's the cautious, and it's a tale as old as time. It's a perfect combination when you put those two together. It fits very well. So needless to say, I would say I'd watch it. John is say watch it. Rob, pass. Is that what does he say? John, what do you give this show out of 10? At least for episode.
Yeah, so for the one episode I saw with the outstanding voice acting quality of the show and everything like that, I think I'd give it an 8. And I feel like it would probably go up the more attached to it I get if I watch more episodes.
Rob?
Yeah, so this is not for me.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, what it does is done well. And I think that it is artistically very gorgeous to look at. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 6.5. It just doesn't resonate for me, but it's definitely worth people to check out at least the first episode.
I like Rob would say that and I'm going to agree with John, it's an 8. I think that this show does a really good job of rewarding you for rewatching it. So if you rewatch it, they do a really good job, like now all animators do, by adding the little small Easter eggs and things happening behind you. Even when the brothers in one of the episodes doing Cuphead and Mugman are having this heartwarming conversation about like the cartoon typical, like, oh, I made this wrong and you made this wrong. There's actually a character on fire just walking around in the background. Like, you're just like, what is happening? Like, you're just like running around on fire in the background.
The attention to detail and love and care. You can see it's there.
Yeah.
So and this is this paid for, made by Netflix, or Netflix just
I believe so. Yeah.
So if Netflix continues to do stuff like this, I think that's a good thing.
So it was one of those things where you sit there laughing. You're like, yeah, this is gonna reward you for rewatching it. Just like when you watch 30 Rock, like the jokes are so fast that you can watch it again and you're like, oh, okay, these are new jokes that I didn't get the first time.
Lemon.
Yep. Or just like watching Archer, same thing. Like there's just dense jokes in there. So you rewatch it and it'll give you a fun time. So I think it's based that way because for kids, as you know, they tend to watch the same things over and over without question. So if you can watch the same thing over and over but pick up something new, then as a parent, you love it, because there's only so many times you can watch the same thing or hear the same song over and over. So anyway, so that is our quick review of Cuphead. We're not going to go too much outside of that. John, where can they find you on the internet and in the desert of the real?
Yeah, so online, Heroes World Online will take you to our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, even our Twitch and our website. So you can follow us online there. If you're listening to this podcast.
It is an
oddcast. Audio. Yeah, it is an oddcast because we have Rob here. So if you want to listen to this on the audio, on the go, on your headphones, on your phone, whatever, you can follow us Heroes World Podcast on the Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcast. And then we do have a physical store. So located in Markham, Ontario. Tons and tons of cool stuff. All those links are down in the bottom of the description of this video. And thank you everybody for your continued support and clicks and views and opinions. It's awesome.
Rob, what's going on the show this week?
Yeah, so on Monday at 8:15 p.m. live on YouTube, Twitch, and whatever other channel, surfing, whatever. We have just finished our 90s action movie bracket for the first half. We still have 95, 99. However, we're taking a bit of a break because this Friday, the Batman, Robert Pattinson's The Batman drops, and to kind of talk about that, we're going to dive back into probably the greatest Batman movie of all time, live action Batman movie of all time, The Dark Knight. I know you guys are thinking, I know you guys wanted Batman Returns because it also stars a Penguin and Catwoman, which
it's actually Batman Mask of the Phantasm, but we're not talking about animated.
Nope, Batman Returns makes sense because it's Penguin and Catwoman, just like the Batman movie. But no, we're doing The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger, who won a posthumous Oscar for his portrayal of the Joker. So join us, John and I, 8:15 Monday night, YouTube channel. Just join us there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Batman. Yeah, good times. Batman. The